Welcome back to the Tabletop Nights. My name is Victor. With me is Greg.
Hello.
Today we're doing a review for Evolution, Another World. This copy was provided to us, the special edition was provided to us from Crowd Games.
That's it.
Thank you for supplying this. We also have a playthrough on the channel as well if you'd like to see how it's played. Greg, what is your overall opinion of this? It is a card game with a few extra components, but essentially 99% card game.
Definitely. It feels a bit like Blue Moon, where you're trying to sort of achieve three things. Plus, some of those Star Wars ones we've played, where you're trying to defeat the bases. So there's this kind of an amalgamation of those things. It's a light to medium weight game, more in the closer to the light end than the medium.
Yeah, I'd say definitely.
But if people haven't played a lot of games, I think they'd really enjoy this.
Yeah, so quickly we'll go over what essentially you have to do. Essentially, you start with 5 cards in your hand and 1 monster. The back of the cards are the monsters. So once a monster is face down, it'll stay that way for the rest of the game until obviously you evolve it, transmute it. Once you get 4 gems on the bottom, you can then spend an action to evolve it, transmute it. It goes off the game and then it turns into a evolved dragon. Once you have 3 of these, the game ends immediately. And you'll do that essentially by either gaining from the supply. So you can spend an action to gain one from the supply.
This is the source.
The source, and then you've got the supply. You can do it by attacking. So just say we have a vampire card here, and Greg already has his monsters on the board. If I was to attack one of his monsters, he would lose a gem and I would gain one from the supply. You also have defense cards. So the green is defense. So when attacked, if this monster is not asleep, it does not lose any of its traits or gems. And obviously once a monster attacks, it goes to sleep. You can also choose for it to go to sleep. And that'll continue round after round until one player evolves 3 monsters.
That's right.
Yeah. So very simple. Very simple. Another thing I want to quickly point out is you can have as many monsters as you like. So you spend your turn, essentially. You can play a monster. You can upgrade it. They're maze, and then you have to do one of 4 actions. So you can either, again, gain one from the source. You can evolve a monster if you can, transmute it. You can attack another monster if you can. Again, it has to have an orange attribute in order to attack, or you can go to sleep if you've got no other actions. So the abilities are pretty varied, I'd say.
Yeah, so there's essentially 4 different attribute groups.
Yeah.
And there's 4 different ones in each group, unless you've got the special edition, which adds another 2.
Adds extra few, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So you've got obviously orange, which is aggressive, green, which is defensive, blue, which is sort of like helping your other monsters out to get gems, and then you've got purple, which is special attacks. So one of them makes a monster wake up, for example. You've got flying, so only flying monsters can attack flying, and astral's the same essentially. We got to use all of them. We didn't use the defense as much, but towards the end I started to. And
they didn't come out for me. I didn't have any.
Yeah, so I didn't use them that much, but I'm assuming you would, especially if you want to defend. Again, we only played in 2-player, and that was actually for me really good. I like having the back and forth.
It was really good, and of course you're constantly reacting to what your opponent is doing. It's a fully competitive game. However, you could easily play this as partners.
Yes.
2 or 3 against 3, and just try and win more of the little monsters tokens. Because you get, I think if you had sort of 6 players playing and you're all trying to watch what each other's doing, could become a bit difficult.
Very difficult.
But again, that's only in the special edition, and if you love it, that might just be fine anyway.
Yeah, because essentially, if you're about to win, every player would just have their turn in essentially demolishing you, and you would get reset essentially to no gems potentially in the turn. So that would be pretty hardcore. I'm not going to lie. And again, very easy to learn though.
It has elements of other collectible card games where there's attributes that you can easily recognise each time you see it. So you don't have to remember stacks of keywords. You may not even refer to this sheet because it's basically all written on the card.
Yeah, most of it's on the card. And again, so with this card, for example, when I attack with it, I can attack with both of these attack features, so I don't have to just choose
You can
one.
trigger them all in any order.
Yeah, in any order, and then it allows for combos essentially. And then if that was to gain one from the source, there's other cards that allow your other monsters to gain from the supply. There's a lot of really cool features, and I like the fact that there's no point keeping. It's essentially evolve 3 creatures. As soon as you see that happen, game ends. You don't have to then calculate anything.
Yep.
The sleeping I really think is cool. Once a monster's asleep, it can't activate again.
Yep.
So just because you have 4 gems on a monster doesn't mean you then get to evolve it, transmute it next turn. Essentially, you then have to maybe wake it up or hope that it's flying and it can't be attacked. So
Yep.
I did like that aspect of it.
And obviously, every card is double-ended, so
Yeah.
you've got these decisions. Do I play it as a monster? Do I use that end? Do I use that end?
Yeah, I guess every card can be played 3 ways.
Do I just hang on to them for now?
Yeah.
And look, that's where the juice of the game is those decisions. And it's not... You're not going to get analysis paralysis. It's not like you sit there for 10 minutes going, oh, which one am I going to do?
Yeah.
You can pretty much go, well, look, you're about to win or transmute that one. I'm going to have to find a way. And there's often a way. Sometimes there isn't.
Yeah, which in our playthrough, there wasn't a way to
I
stop
couldn't
that
I
from
couldn't
happening.
react at the end because
Yeah.
you had too many gems out there.
Yeah, so essentially what happens as well is the more monsters you have out with at least 1 gem, the more cards you get to draw at the start of the next round. There was one instance where I think I got 6 cards to your 3 or 4 potentially, and that really actually turned the tide. So again, as a more, if Greg was to play more, we would have played more. We wouldn't allow that to happen. You probably keep an eye out on that.
Yeah, if you watch the playthrough, you'll see the point where I go, Victor goes, oh, I'm glad you did that because now I get an extra card, and I go, well, maybe you could just no take backs.
I do sometimes.
So,
I
it's
do
quite
sometimes.
rude and quite aggressive.
Hey, we're 50-50. Sometimes we'll help each other out.
No, I've won the last few games actually. To be honest
okay, it
with
was
this.
yeah.
The artwork really good.
Yeah, I actually really quite like the artwork.
I-
I do wish there was a little bit of variance in the monsters, just because you
You could
why
make.
not?
I suppose
It wouldn't matter.
this is literally just a tracking system. Just get 4 gems, but most of these, you're going to get repeats if they're exactly the same card.
Yeah.
But even in this example, you'll see half the card's the same, the other half's got a different ability on there. So you get a good mix.
Yeah, so Ben, and again, that's just the preference. I would have liked to have a few different looking monsters. Yeah. I don't think it would ever get to the stage where it's like, oh, I remember this red monster. It could only be this one. You know.
The way I look at it is they're all the same creatures on this planet, but different things affect them in different ways, and they evolve into different creatures.
That's a good way to look at it.
So
the special edition again, once again, has these special tokens, the Wonder ones. Otherwise, they come with quite good, solid cardboard components.
I assume the gems would be in the standard.
I'm fairly certain, yeah. And one of the really cool things about the special edition is obviously, you get a extra 2 players, some more abilities, solo modes in the base game, and then but you can tell they've done a lot of attention to detail because you get some stickers, and then there's a bestiary which talks about all the different, monsters and stuff, and it's got that sort of attention to detail, lots of components in there as well, and it's not difficult to set up, it's not difficult to pack away. A really simple game. I think we had one half of a test game, and then we'll pretty much finish
ready to go.
Players, yeah.
The cards are good linen finish. They're a nice big size. You can get their
sleeves.
Yeah,
Kickstarter. I'm not sure.
It looks like a standard Taro size.
Okay.
I'm thinking so. But component-wise, support-wise, every time we had a question about the rules, we were able to go and find it pretty quickly. Yeah. And it was there. It wasn't like, oh, hang on, let's flick through for 5 minutes. So
absolutely.
It was very good.
All right. That was Evolution Another World. Thank you again to Crowd Games for supplying that to us. Have you played this game? Let us know if you know of any other games that are similar to this that we can try out potentially. And again, go watch our playthrough. It is live on the channel as well. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, see ya.
Bye. Oh, you could subscribe there and watch a previous video there.